Cool. Bonk. There we go. That is beautisimous. I haven't streamed in a very, very, very long time. Yo, what up, Zach? What up, Finders? I just got out of the pool, which is why my hair is all kind of wonkiness. How are you guys going? How are you guys going? It's not a word. How are you guys doing? What up, Raging? How's it going? I was at a loss for what I should name this stream. But I feel like talking about America is probably a pretty good one. Just because of everything that's America. I would love to talk about guns. You ask questions, man. I will talk to you about guns. You'll at least know where I stand. I don't know where you stand, but I feel like this is an open forum, and we can just hang out and talk and have a decently good time. Boink. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. And there we go. How's quarantine? Quarantine is garbaggio. I am so tired of being in quarantine. I'm tired of sitting in the house. And as it sits right now, we have a curfew that is starting at 8 o'clock p.m. So we can't go outside from 8 o'clock p.m. till 5 o'clock a.m. What up, Banji? How you doing? We cannot leave the house from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock a.m. So, you know, that's a thing because if you Google, you know, Scottsdale shopping mall, well, that's, you know, that's a thing that just got, like, rioted last month. You know, that's a thing. Or, like, literally yesterday, not last month. I read your Pride Month epic thing, but... You know, I figured, you know, let's talk about how everybody feels about what's going on. What can you do to help facilitate change? If you think that change needs to be made, what up, JNTY? How's it going? And I just think that it's so interesting, everything that's going on. I really, really, really think that a civil war is going to happen because I just read something where Trump said... You know, you've got to be really hard on people, XYZ, and I don't think that people are going to respond well to that in a nation where literally every person owns at least 2 to 5 guns. That's probably not a smart choice, and then military and stuff will be called in and all that other stuff. So it is a huge thing, but I would definitely like to have an intelligent conversation with all of you. What's up, Finders? Zach? Am I into any conspiracy theories? The only conspiracy theory that I'm into right now is that the bricks are being laid out for the protesters and that will self-incriminate them and they will get arrested. However, in Arizona, if you are out past curfew, you can go into jail for up to 6 months and you can get a fine up to $2,500. Now, the thing that I think it's a backdoor into arresting anybody on scene that is breaking into malls or breaking into businesses or whatever. I think that that is letting them have that backdoor access to say, we're going to arrest you. And it is, what's up, newcomer? How's it going? So I think that that is going to be a huge, it's like a huge like backdoor, side door in order to arrest all the people that are trying to protest / riot. However, I think that there is a difference between the two. If you're protesting, that's awesome. I have your back. You can protest for what? Like, welcome to America. You can protest because turtles don't get a good enough treatment in SeaWorld. You can protest for anything. But the problem that I have is when you start looting and when you start doing that. Like, literally, all of America was behind, hey, this is something that happened. This is something that needs to change. Police brutality needs to change. How do we change that? A lot of people are just grasping at straws. But the fact that everybody is starting to loot You are shooting your own selves in the foot. You are saying, we are not able to handle a protest. We are not able to do anything. We are not looking for change. We just want to get free stuff. It is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. What up, Weissicles? How's it going? So, yes, I'm in America. I'm in Arizona. I'm right near Phoenix. And we just had looters at one of the, like, the high-end part of Arizona is called Scottsdale. And that's like home of like $2 million homes. Like, it is literally called like the new Hollywood because of how crazy it is. So they looted, they did a whole bunch of other stuff to that. And to me, I just think it's really, really stupid. Like, if you want to protest, cool, go ahead and go protest. But don't loot. But I think there's also people intertwined that are called opportunists, or just people who want to see the world burn. Like, if you don't care about what's happening, if you don't care about what's happening in America, you are going to go loot because you can A, steal stuff and get stuff, or you can take it and sell it. Like, there's nothing stopping you. Like, I literally watched a live stream the other night of the Scottsdale police sitting back while they rioted and they took everything out of the Scottsdale Mall. And if you were somebody that didn't care about any of that and you say, okay, whatever, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go take everything. Well, then you take everything and you sell it and you make, $2, $3, $4 grand. Like, that makes sense, right? Like, everybody is hurting. Everybody needs money. The stimulus check didn't do jack. So how is it that you're going to make ends meet? And I've told multiple people this. People who are anti-gun, I've told them this since January when I first did my first COVID video, and I said, when everything hits the fan, if it does, not when, if, I'd rather have a ton of food and not have to need it than need it and not have it. And I said, what are you going to do if there's, like, let's say the supply chain breaks down, right? Like, let's say everything happened in the way that it was progressing and there's no food in the supermarkets and there's no truckers moving stuff and there is literally no food. What are you going to do? You're going to try to keep your family alive, right? If I had a family of 3, I'm going to do everything I can to keep them alive. What does that entail? That entails going to find food wherever you can. If somebody is going to try to keep their family alive, nobody's going to peacefully die from starvation. They're going to take whatever it is that you have if they think that you have something. If they see you hanging out and just having a good time, they are going to take what you have. And so that's the thing that I've seen constantly is with Scottsdale, everybody was like, well, where's all the gun nuts that are coming down and like trying to protect us? I don't want a part of that. I'm not trying to protect the looters, and I'm not trying to protect the cops. Like, I have no skin in this game. That is not me. I like that. No. The only thing that I have a problem with is when somebody tries to come into my house and they try to take what is mine. Like, I just got into a debate with somebody on Imgur, which is like a file sharing site, and we got into a gun debate. And they were like, so do you think that your stuff is more important than a human life? And I said, no. But the minute you decide to come into my house is the minute you decide that your life is worth my stuff. Because if I see somebody coming into this house, I'm going to defend it. Like, I don't care who you are. I think it is total bonkers that one guy that was a concealed carry permit holder, the police did a no-knock raid and they killed his wife or his girlfriend who was working, literally, she was a nurse and she was working in the COVID wing at the hospital, and he returned fire because he thought that people were trying to break in, and he gets arrested. How is that possible? If there is cops that are doing a no-knock warrant at my house, I am 110% returning fire if I don't know who you are. If you're coming through that door, I'm going to shoot at you. End of story, point blank. If I see you coming in a window, I'm going to shoot you. If I see you coming in through a door, I'm going to shoot you. That's it. Like, there is no if, ands, or but. I don't care. If I start to see a badge, my gun's up, my hands are up. Okay, what do you want? But until I see that, if I hear banging and I hear something, I'm laying down on my ground, I'm getting behind something, I'm doing whatever defensive tactics I need to do in order to protect my house, because I don't know if that's a group of rioters. I don't know if somebody said, hey, this guy has a ton of guns and ammo, water, food, whatever it is that I have. I don't know who these people are. I am 110% going to protect that. And to have that guy be arrested, it blows my freaking mind. They should pay that dude out a ton of money, apologize profusely, and that is never going to get his girlfriend back. She was literally sleeping, or she got up, or whatever it is that happened. You should not have police instructing an unarmed or a no-knock warrant. That should not be a thing literally ever. Like, okay, cool, you think that somebody's there. Sweet. Do a perimeter, knock on the door. If the first cop gets blown away, you know that the person inside is aggressive. People that are getting swatted and people that are getting killed is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the history of my life. And I've been alive 32 years. And I haven't been around that long, but this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like everything is just going from bad to worse to worse to worse to worse to worse. Like I'm looking at your guys' comments. Like, you're in Michigan, looting has started, looting's not the answer. Do you know how many people I've seen saying looting is part of the protest? Yeah. No. Like, if you're looting, you're just an opportunist and you're greedy. Looting has nothing to do with getting your message across. Like, think of you, like, I was literally press, through some unknown crazy reason, I was press at the Bernie Sanders rally. And somebody came in with a Nazi flag and said, you all are Nazis. And then they got taken out by security. Nobody in that crowd said, you know what? I think they're right. I think that we are Nazis. Nobody did that. Being aggressive in the way that you're trying to change the world does not do anything. If you say, there's police brutality, I'm gonna loot. That's aggressive. That's not going to solve anything. People are just gonna look at you and be like, you're an idiot. You're just loot. Like what are you doing? Like, they're not even looting like stores. They're looting local businesses. That'd be like if your mom and dad owned a business and they got looted. They're not corporations. They're not anything. They're trying to make it. They're trying to get by. That is like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But that aside, the only conspiracy theory that I'm thinking of is that these protests / looting, not protests, but the lootings are planned by somebody. I don't know who, whether it's Republican, Democrat, some third party, Russians, whatever. Like, there is a ton of things out there right now that are, like, I just watched a video of the cops instructing a lady to graffiti a building and at the end of it, write for George. So I don't know what the frick is going on. I do know that the current political party is dividing us even more than ever. And I hope that we can strengthen ourselves and make some change. Like, I don't know how to freaking fix it. It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the history of my life. But what I have seen is a lot of people saying, where's the gun people? Where are they going to protect us? Like, Democrats are hugely anti-gun, and you have them saying, where's all the gun people? Who's protecting us from these cops that are shooting journalists, that are shooting innocent people? Where are all these gun people? Well, dude, you voted to have my guns removed. Like, I don't know what you want, but that's what you voted for. So it's just like so crazy. Like, I'm not left-leaning and I'm not right-leaning. Like, I have definitely figured out that I'm pretty much right in the middle. Like, I would consider myself like an independent. Like, I was with Bernie Sanders, and I was with Beto O'Rourke until they started talking about guns. Like, I'm a huge proponent for gun control. Like, there is no... I don't think that there's any reason why somebody shouldn't have a gun, as opposed to if you're mentally ill or if you have prior convictions. I think that's the only reason. I think everybody has in America, I'm talking strictly about America, in Europe and in Canada and all these other places that don't have that many guns, my whole stance is, you have a gun, the bad guy has a gun, it gives you an equal playing field. there is so many shootings that are happening in America in gun-free zones because they know that they can get away with it. Like, I really, really, really want to do a video talking to people in prison for gun crimes and say, hey, if you knew that the person inside the house was armed, would you have went in? If you knew that somebody was going to shoot back at you, would you have done what you were going to do? And I'm 98% sure people would be like, no, dude, I'm not going to go in. The scariest sound that you can hear is a shotgun rack when you're trying to do something. You hear, and you're like, oh, no, I'm out. Because they don't want to die. I think that gun control is a very, very iffy subject with a lot of people. But I know that 100% of gun owners would not be opposed to having more stringent background checks. Like, there is nothing... Anybody who is responsible does not want anybody to shoot up a school, does not want anybody to kill anybody that's innocent. Like they just get the words put into gun advocates' mouths. And there is some crazy people. Like, there's crazy people in everything. There's crazy Christians. There's crazy Muslims. There's crazy Jewish people. There's crazy Amish people. There's crazy feminists. There's crazy left. There's crazy right. Like, there's crazy Karens. Like, the small minority that is super, super vocal gets the most amount of attention, and that's the way the freaking media is in America, and it's so freaking sad. But I'm going to read some of your guys' comments because I definitely wasn't paying attention because I was on like a rant. So, quarantine is good, Zach. Banji said that's super done. These riots are messing everything up, all this looting and things. I 100%. Change definitely needs to happen. I answered if I'm into conspiracy theories. Your 18th birthday is in 3 days, which is horrible. Just kidding. Happy birthday. But to have to grow up in this is crazy. But hopefully stuff can change. America is turning feral 100%. Watch the people demolish the wall and start throwing them. Like, I don't blame Canada and Mexico for building a wall to keep us out. Like, it's insane. But, however, I'm going to have to choose my words carefully. I am with stricter immigration policy. However, I am with stricter immigration policy because people from Mexico and people from all these places that were getting terrorized are trying to come to America to get asylum. Okay, cool. I know firsthand how America's immigration policies are. It is very, very, very hard. A lot of you guys know Kat. She was Canadian. It took us a year in order to get her into America. That shouldn't be the case. I have no problem with a wall. I don't care who funds it. That doesn't matter. I think that if people want to come into America legally, you 100% can. I do not think that you should have to wait a year or longer to get in. I think that we need to expedite the immigration process. I think that we need to be able to get you in and get you a social security number. And if you want to leave your situation, awesome. It's only going to cost you, like, to get married, it costs like $7,000 to $10,000 to get immigrated into America. People who are making 25 cents a day do not have that. It's going to cost you, $1,000. We have a payment plan. You can come in. You're going to start getting taxed. You're going to start doing X, Y, Z. It's going to take you a month to 3 months in order to get in. If you want to get in faster, it's going to cost you X amount of money. And I think that's literally it. Like, all these people that are like I live in Arizona. We have a huge Hispanic population. They're not stealing anybody's jobs. They're doing the jobs that nobody wants. And also, they're freaking smart. Like, they're not some low-class citizen. Like, they're trying to make it. Like, there are so many Hispanic-owned businesses here. They beat anybody as far as work ethic goes by yards. So I do not agree with that sentiment. I do think that we need to close our borders, get people to come in the right way, get taxed, get a social security number. Having this stuff take a year or whatever, like right when I got married, I said, I 100% understand why people jump the border. It takes a junk ton of money and it takes a junk ton of time. If your family's getting murdered, you don't have that time. There's no reason for it to take X amount of years. It's just say, okay, you do this. Like, they don't have a background check. Like, they are Mexican, they are Canadian, they are Venezuelan, they are whatever. They don't have a background. Here's your passport. Here's your social security number. Here's your thing. Here's how you get taxed. You have a place to live. Cool. Here's your job. Done. Get in. I don't know why it takes 18 years in order for it to do it, because when I got married, me and my ex-wife were both white. Like, and that is like, it should have been streamlined. It should have been whatever to say, oh, you're from Canada, you know, the less violent neighbor. Zach, you're an American, you're white. Like, why does it take a year in order for that to happen? And we had to go through test after test after test after talking to people, we went down, and I sat down with a counselor, and she sat down with a counselor, and then we talked about what it is that we wanted to do, and yada 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 yada, and all of this stuff in order to just get married. Like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So I 100% sympathize with anybody that's trying to come into America and why it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years in order to come in here. Like, I 100% understand why people are trying to jump the border and just get in here. Like, I do not fault them for that at all. I think that we have a broken system that we need to fix. Also, the dog place, thank you for hanging out. JNTY, there's agent of provocateurs within the riots. I 100% agree with you. Wysicle said, how are you holding up? I don't live in America. It is pretty scary right now. Right now, they updated the COVID-19 virus and stays safe 3 feet away instead of 6. That's stupid. Banji said he's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Looting has started. Looting's not the answer. Do you know how many people I've seen saying looting is part of the protest? If you don't agree with, you're racist and blah, blah, blah. Yep, that's stupidity. Zach, do you not think it is very convenient that Clinton is in court tomorrow and the whole Obamagate stuff was going to the mainstream? I don't know anything about that at all. Zach said this is messed up. Banji said I second this. Welcome to the stream. Banji. It is literally turning into the Purge. Welcome to the stream, Shayak. And we are 100% living in our post-apocalyptic world. Like, everything is going down the truth, or everything's going down the drain. People who are defending looting, yeah, it's horrible. People are just extreme. Us Canadians are following this with great interest. Yeah, thanks, Bean Boy. When will the pandemic end? It will probably never end for a very long time. I think this whole thing is just some stupid thing that's political, which is irritating. I'm 100% excited that Anonymous is getting into the fight and trying to release documents. Like, I saw something where Trump, like, all the court documents from Trump, which were already public, but they're like, you need to look at this. Like, I don't know where they were to begin with. Like, if Anonymous is so amazing, bro, you need to start doing this stuff instantaneously once something comes up. Yo, Trump's being crazy. Nope, here's all the stuff that's bad about him. Okay, this person's this. Okay, this is all the stuff that's bad about him. I will say that our local city, Niagara Falls, is one of the few cities that have a successful peaceful protest. Riots are getting way out of control, 100%. 2 police officers have joined the protest. There is more than 2 police officers that have joined the protest. I've seen actually a sergeant talk to Trump and say, if you don't have anything good to say, shut your mouth, which I think was amazing because he's just fueling. I don't know how Trump hasn't been arrested yet. Like, inciting violence is against the Constitution, so I don't know why he hasn't been held accountable for that. There's been way more than 2 police officers that have joined it. There's been whole squads that have walked with people. If you look literally on Imgur or you look on the internet and you say cops joining protest, it'll be every cops hugging people. It'll be cops saying, you know, we're here for you. We understand. This is crazy. I'm 100% on board with that. Yes, I did see what Trump said where he's demanding the states to use the National Guard to stop riots. I saw where he told governors and mayors that people will think you're weak if you don't use force to control people, which I think will be the quickest way to a civil war. Yes, I do remember when everybody was anti-gun. That was funny. What up, Sin? Thanks for tuning in and hearing me out. My opinions on Antifa, I don't even know what they are. Like, I saw that he labeled them a terrorist organization. I don't know. I know they're like a far left whatever. I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't followed them at all. A lot of Donald Trump's actions to this incident are completely disgusting. He isn't doing anything about it. Instead, he's blaming. Yeah, he started like here's my thing. I was cool with Trump up until COVID. I was like, bro, okay, you're doing some stupid stuff. You're an idiot. I get it. That's literally everybody. Some stuff you're doing I don't agree with. That's the same thing with Obama. That's the same thing with everybody. Like, You're doing stuff that some people don't agree with, right? You're cool 60%, you're an idiot 40%, you're cool 80%, you're dumb 20% of the time. That's cool. I get that. But this whole thing, ever since COVID started, and he said this is a democratic or nationwide thing to make me not get presidency again, all of my, okay, dude, you're cool, went out the window. Like, he has handled this so poorly and has misconstrued everything and handling the riots and all this other stuff. Like, North Korea or South Korea called him out and said, you need to go talk to the protesters, because that's what he told them when they were having their protests. He said, you need to go to the protesters and you need to talk to them and everything will be fine. He's not doing that. He's in a freaking bunker. He turned off the White House lights. Like, there was White House things, like I saw where the National Guard shot at people to get them away from the thing so he could do his speech. Like, that is not how somebody runs a nation. Like, that to me is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. His last chance to show people he isn't racist, and he just decided to prove he is and show his real colors. I don't know anything about his racism. To me, gun control is iffy. Sin said because it's supposed to be a safeguard, but at the same time, we're at the point where it's negated because the government has bigger guns. They do have bigger guns, but once you have a civil war and you have everybody dying, it tends to change the tune. Once you have gun owners that are willing to stand up and start shooting at somebody else, like right now, a lot of them are just hanging out. Like, I saw somebody shoot like 4 rounds over the protesters' heads, and I saw somebody shoot. They had like a bow and arrow. They didn't cock it or anything, but they knocked it, which is where they put the arrow in the string and they kind of held it half back at the protesters. But I think that a lot of the police know that what's going on isn't right, and that's why they're joining the protests. This guy said all Trump did with this and his other idiotic remarks was to ensure himself a loss in the 2020 election. I still don't know if he's going to lose, to be honest. I'm like, if I'm not going to vote for somebody, I would just not vote at all. And I do think that Biden is a little bit of a better choice, but he's like, I don't know why we have 80-year-olds running the nation. Why is that a thing? Why do we not have somebody that's young that is trying to run America? Why do these guys have to be 80, 75 years old? They have dementia. They allegedly have dementia. Like, if you search like Trump posturing, like how he sticks his back out and he leans forward, like that's like a dementia pose. Like, why do we have these people trying to lead a nation? Like, why? I don't understand why it's a 2-party system. Like, I don't understand at all. If he somehow wins after all this, I can guarantee these riots will get much, much worse. I just wish everybody would go out and vote. That light in the background makes me think that Zach has been drafted for Smash Bros. Yeah, let me do, There you go. If the people were rioting outside the White House to the point where the president has to go into a bunker, you know he messed up hard. I agree. What's your opinion on the cops joining the protest? I think it's amazing. I think that all of Americans need to get together. Like, stop the looting. Like, I just watched a video of somebody like breaking up like a concrete sidewalk with a hammer. And all the other all the protesters, not the rioters, all the protesters tackled him to the ground and took him to the cops, and then the cops arrested him. Like, I think that everybody needs to be of one mind and say, look, this is what needs to be done, because you have the people who are trying to riot, and you have the people who are just like, you're defiling the name of what all of this is in. It's like, oh, everybody's distracted. Oh, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and break into this Reebok and take shoes, or let me break into this Best Buy and get a TV. Like, what are you doing? That does nothing. That literally does nothing. If there was something that had to do with corporations getting, a 1% tax rate, okay, cool, I get that. This has to do with somebody getting killed. It has nothing to do with corporations. Like, why in the frick are you looting? Carissa said, yeah, I know, I feel like the world is ending. You're correct. AB Gamer said, I've heard about Ebola coming back. Yeah, we're in the end times. It's about both Benghazi and the leaked emails that allegedly had child trafficking references. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets killed. Anon is about hitting the right time when most people pay attention. There's a method to the operators, I promise. Okay, by the way, there are state primaries in quite a few states tomorrow. If you can vote, do it, but make sure you vote for the correct person to get Trump out. I don't know if there's correct person at this point. We need a real hard butt to get things done. And I don't know of Wes Sanders. I'm not saying Biden is bad, but he's not enough. Have you seen NYPD ramming protesters? I saw that, and I saw the guy that was attacked with a machete, but the guy with the machete was a store owner, from what I read, and he was trying to defend his store, and they beat the snot out of him. Carissa said, bro, if Trump actually cared about the protest, then he'd make action against police brutality. He hasn't done that. He keeps talking. Yeah, you're 100% correct. You are 100% correct. In my opinion, he's calling for martial law for Antifa. They're a group that uses anti-fascism as a way to be fascist. They also use violence against innocents, which is terrorism. Okay, again, I don't know that much about Antifa. Everyone is old because it takes that bloody long to get into high-level politics. I know. So here's my thing that I haven't released. I haven't released this video yet, but I want to know your guys' thoughts. There's not that many of you, so this is kind of like an elite group of people. I have created a video that I basically talked about America's problems, and I talked about, XYZ, and I talked about some of the upcoming elections. I talked about the problems. I talked about, literally everything. But then at the very end of it, because I don't know if I'm going to release this yet. I still don't know if I'm going to release it because it's going to put a huge target on my face. And pretty much at the end of the video, or at the beginning, I can't remember which one it was, but I pretty much said, yeah, vote for me because I'm running for president. Now, I don't think that's going to do anything. I don't think that I will be president. I don't think that I think maybe I'll get 10, 20% of the votes. Maybe. Just because people want to see change. They don't want to see Trump. They don't want to see Biden. I think I will come in. I think that I'm a solid middle ground kind of person. And also, I'm not 800 years old. So I think that if we need to get the young voters off of their butts and do something for change, I think that will go a long way towards America. Now, I'm not saying that I know all the answers. I'm not saying that I know literally everything. But my whole thing is this. You need to surround yourself with people who are intelligent. What is happening with the current administration is embarrassing because you're just replacing them with friends. Hey, their climate change is happening. I don't care about you. Let's get in my buddy. And he's like, climate change isn't happening. And it's like, great, that's what I thought. And they're not experts. You don't have to be really good at running a country. You just need to surround yourself with people who actually know what they're doing. You need to go around people who are economics, and they say, hey, if this housing crisis keeps happening, everybody's going to go into bankruptcy. Okay, well, how do we change that? Okay, well, here's what you can do. You can lower the interest rate, and you can give first-time home buyers a bigger tax break. Cool, let's do that. And then they say, hey, here's our international policies. There's a lot of tension in, the Middle East. What's going to happen there? What do you think should happen? Oh, I don't know. I think we should, pull out and not have anybody that's an American outside of America, as opposed to just strategic staff at Air Force bases. We shouldn't be fighting any wars because our country is majorly messed up. And they say, yeah, we agree with that. I say, okay, cool. Let's make that happen. And that's kind of my thing, Sin. Elections take a lot of money. Trump has an advantage there. That said, I stand with you on your choice to try this at the very minimum to encourage. That's the thing. I don't think I'm going to do anything crazy. I think that there's nobody else that's going to try this. And if I'm not the one that's going to try this, then who is? I feel like that is not really my purpose, but I feel like that's what I need to do at this present time. I need to do something to stand up and say, hey, insider trading that you're doing, Senator, is wrong. You're in jail for the rest of your life. Oh, police brutality and you killed somebody? You're going to jail for the rest of your life. That end of discussion. That's not a thing that needs to happen. You're sorry, That do not pass go, do not collect $200. Why is it that when all these senators came out of a closed door meeting about coronavirus, sold all of their stock in travel and bought stuff in pharmacy and medical, and then they didn't tell anybody, and they just reaped millions and millions and millions of dollars? Like, are you kidding me right now? That is the most corrupt thing I've ever seen in the history of my life. So again, I don't think that I'm going to get, even if I get 5% of the vote, I think it'll create enough waves to encourage somebody else to stand up to do something. Because right now, Trump is garbage, Biden's garbage, and one of those two is going to win. Like, there is nothing good about either of them. Biden's creepy with kids, and Trump is allegedly creepy with kids, but he also has proved that he doesn't know how to run a country. So why are we as an American people letting that happen? Why can we not find somebody? Why is nobody raising up and saying, hey, I want to change this? And I do know that there's a lot of people that are trying to run for president or trying to run into things, but why is it you're a Republican, Republicans stand behind Trump, and that's it? If you're a Republican and you're trying to run for president, it doesn't matter. You're overshadowed by Trump. If you're a Democrat, aka Bernie Sanders, and you're trying to run for president, why is it only Biden? Well, why did they put Trump against Hillary? Why is that a thing that is happening? I don't understand, and I have no idea who Jeremy Corbyn is. Like, I just don't get it. And at this point, I'm so frustrated. Like, I've told my entire family, I've told anybody who knows me, and I'm just like, dude, I'm going to try to run for president. Is it going to happen? No. I'm not even the right age. You have to be 35. I'm 32. There is nothing that says, hey, you're going to be president. But if somebody can stand up and try to make a change and say, this isn't right, we need to change this. Like, why is nobody doing it? Why are we going through the same garbage? The thoughts on Obama's presidency, I wasn't political. I haven't voted in the past like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote in that election, the previous election. Like, I was not political. The only time that I started to get political was about right before the coronavirus hit. So I have no thoughts on Obama's presidency. I thought he's cool. I think he was calm, collected. I think he handled things in a different manner than what the current administration's doing. But I can't say any pros or cons about it. Like, I know that the Affordable Care Act was as abysmal because you had to still pay a ton of money. Like, I don't understand why we are the only... Like, I'm really thinking about releasing the presidential video because you can see exactly where I stand. Like, I don't think that healthcare should be free, but I don't think that it should be for profit. I think if you have a broken arm, you spend $300 and you get it fixed. I think that if you have cancer, it's $5,000. I don't know why Americans are going bankrupt. I know exactly why Americans are going bankrupt. Because the healthcare system is for profit. If you have Martin Shkreli, who says, I just bought the rights to this, let's say, cancer pill. And if you have cancer, your insurance company is going to pay for it. So I'm going to jack it up 10,000%, and I'm going to make a ton of money. No. How much did the pill cost? The pill cost you $1 to make. You're only going to be able to sell it for $2. You have 100% markup. You're getting your money back plus 100%. Your investors are going to be ecstatic because you're selling it, and the American people are not going to go broke trying to afford it. Why is insulin $900 a month when people are barely making it? Like, I don't understand anything that is happening in America. Like, why do we have a war going on with X, Y, Z? Why are there people in the Middle East? Pull them out. Why? Like, why? Get out. That's not our fight. I don't care. Get out. Why is the prison system for profit? Why is it that people who are running prisons get bonuses based off how many people are in the beds? That's why people are getting arrested for a gram of marijuana in states where it's not legal. And they have to spend a year in jail. Why is that a thing? Because it's for profit. That's literally it. Insurance companies do nothing. Prisons for profit do nothing. Okay, cool. If you killed somebody, cool, go to prison. Like, why would I not want free healthcare? The only reason why I don't want free healthcare is because it's going to tax people. That's it. If there is a government funded healthcare that says, okay, if everybody pays an extra 1% in taxes, if you have every American pay an extra 1% in taxes, that is an insane amount of money. And you say, okay, you have a broken arm. It's going to cost you X amount of money to fix. And the reason why it costs X amount of money to fix is because the hospitals are charging insurance companies an astronomical amount, and then they pass that on to people who are in the insurance, that are on the insurance plan. So if you have a state-run hospital or state-run whatever, you can still have private stuff, like Canada has that. If you want to pay more, you can get seen faster. But I don't understand, with how much money we have and how much military we have and how much taxes we have, like Finland and all them get taxed a ton. I'm not in favor of that. I'm not in favor of getting taxed more. I'm in favor of making it affordable. Free healthcare, I think, is just a huge drain on the system. If you can make it affordable, and if it's not affordable for certain people, and you say, okay, your income last year was $20,000, this is free, this is on us. But if your income was $700,000, you can pay, whatever the amount is for this operation. I think that is entirely feasible. If you're making a ton of money, you should also put a ton of money back in the system. Like, I'm in favor of the president who said that corporations get a 90% tax rate. Like, if you have a 90% tax rate, and the only way to decrease that tax rate is to hire more people, to open up new locations, to have your goods at a lower price point, to have your lower manufacturing costs, companies are going to do that. Like, America is based on, like, vulture capitalism. Like, I'm all in favor of capitalism. Like, like Bill Gates, you built something that's going to help the world, you deserve to get rewarded for that. Jeff Bezos, like, even though he treats his people like garbage, that should 100% be changed. But you created something that is going to benefit the world. Cool. Do I think that if you started as an e-commerce platform, you should be able to go into healthcare and auto insurance and all this other? No. Whoa, bro. No. You're not creating a monopoly. That's not happening. If you start out as an e-commerce, your e-commerce, you are officially barred from entering any other domain. You are not going to do Amazon Healthcare, Amazon Dental. No, that's not going to happen. So sorry. Too bad. Try again. So if you allow these companies to create these monopolies, then all it takes is for them to say, we're raising the prices. That's it. Like, there's a reason why the Sherman antitrust law and anti-monopoly and all that other stuff has, like, happened. So, Carissa said, LMAO, God, why you punish us? And then Sin said, the outlets love the narrative, and unfortunately we have a lot of people that follow it hook, line, and sinker instead of doing their own research. 100%. He was the Bernie Sanders here in the UK. I don't know who you're talking about, JNTY. There's a podcast called No Agenda. You'll probably like it. I'll check it out. Why would I not want free healthcare? I just answered that. God, the medical industry in this country, I can't even afford to get my teeth patched up. Yeah, like, that's horrible. Like, if you need to get a dentist work done, it's $20, dude. Why is it so much? I did also read, Banji, I did read that the people in the UK are protesting in front of the US Embassy. It's like a global thing that's happening right now. And it's awesome. Like, 100%. I think it's freaking amazing. What do you think about the people who say to release the lockdown and get the economy going? I think that is garbage. I think that COVID is going to wreck people. I do not think that you can sit there and say all lives matter, and then COVID comes around and you say, oh, it's only old people that will die. You can't say all lives matter if that is a thing. I think that you can get the economy going and also do proper precautions. This thing's going to come back. COVID is going to come back. There's no doubt about it. People are idiots. Arizona just registered another 409 cases. And you could get it and you might be fine. That's great. But there's also people who are not lucky. We have topped 100,000 people that have died just in America. That is 100,000 people that should not have died. You should not be dying from a disease or a virus that can be stopped through smart leadership. That should not be a thing. Everything should have been shut down for 2 weeks. There should have been a curfew. There should have been Air National Guard, and this thing would have been done. But now it's so far ingrained in everything. If you say, okay, everybody, we're going to need you to take 2 weeks off of work. Like, I'm so angry. If you are a corporation and you need a bailout, you're a garbage corporation. You do not have leadership, do not have intelligence, you do not have foresight. If you need a bailout within 2 weeks, you do not know how to manage your money, and you do not deserve to be a company. I have no remorse for these people no remorse for these companies who are saying, we're going to go bankrupt. Well, sucks to suck, dude. I don't understand why none of these companies were prepared to have just 2 weeks. Bro, you made $8 billion this quarter. Why do you need to have any kind of bailout? Why can you not afford to pay everybody exactly what it is that they're owed? And why is it that you cannot help your people out so that way they can give you more profitable quarters? Why can you not do that for 2 weeks to a month? If you did that and everybody was forced to stay inside and there was armed people outside and they said, do not go outside, you're going to jail, you're going to get shot with rubber bullets, you're going to do whatever, and you declared martial law and people had to stay inside and you say, you are not leaving, we're delivering groceries, we're delivering medicine, you tell us what it is that you need, XYZ. The freaking state of Arizona had to call on people that knew an old, stupid programming code because our unemployment claims couldn't handle it. How in the junk is that possible? Why is this a thing? If you do not have a month's worth of supply and a month's worth of salary to take care of your people, why do you need a bailout? You deserve to fail. That's it. And when you fail, the government's going to be there to give everybody their payment and say, okay, you're making the average income for this area is XYZ. You live here. This is how much you get. There's not, why is it that we can print money for a war, but we can't print money to help people out? How is that? Like, I saw people take their $1,200 stimulus check and go buy clothes. Okay, cool. They're horrible with their money. That's their own choice. I do not understand why, like, the same thing with Sin saying, and sorry, I may invest in the cruise industry, but no, you don't need a bailout. 100%. The cruise industry did not deserve a bailout. I don't even think they got it because they register their companies in different countries. They're not even ours. How is that a thing? How do you get to evade U.S. taxes by putting your headquarters in Barbados and then say, oh, we need a bailout? No, dude, are you kidding me? Oh my God, that makes me the maddest person in the history of the world. Like, you have got to be kidding me. Airlines, you need a bailout? Sorry, guess you need a restructure, dude. You've been overcharging people $50 to a freaking carry-on bag, and people have been paying $1,000 for first class. Sorry, you have horrible leadership, and you don't know how to hold money back. What happens with American people? Hey, I'm living a paycheck to paycheck. Congratulations. You're exactly on par with corporations. But these guys get $8 trillion to get a bailout while Americans just sit here and are like, I don't know what we're eating tonight, kids. Sorry. Unacceptable, dude. That makes me so freaking mad. It is so insane. That is why I created the video. That is 100% why I created the video, and I'm probably going to edit it and throw it up. But I know that that's going to be a huge target on me because I'm 100% for alternative energy. I'm 100% for free college. I'm 100% for free education. And if that doesn't put a freaking target on your back from the coal industry, from pharmaceuticals, chances are pretty high that I might get killed. Like, that's it. My mom's like, Zach, you probably don't want to do that. I'm like, there's no change happening. It's going further and further down the toilet because nobody is standing up. Nobody is doing anything. Like, how can everybody just sit here and be like, yeah, no, man, this is cool. This is great. I don't care. Yeah, we're fine. As long as I get my bills paid. No, what are you doing? I cannot sit here in good conscience and eat and have food while the dude down the street from me is trying to figure out exactly how he's going to make his, how he's going to get his family fed. It's embarrassing. How is that even possible that I'm taken care of, but the guy that lives 2 zip codes away is not being taken care of? That blows my freaking mind. And 100%, like what Sin just said, solar production has gotten cheaper and cheaper these days. We could outfit this whole country. I live in Arizona. It's 99% sun. Why are we not all off the grid now? Why are we not all solar? Elon Musk owns Solar City. How is this not a thing? We have desert everywhere. Look, open up Google Maps, look everywhere. Anywhere in the city is uninhabited, put solar panels. You have engineers, you have smart people. I'm not saying I know how to do it. Figure out how to make this city run on solar. How is it that Finland and Sweden are importing trash because they know how to recycle? Why do we not have that? Why does the whole entire coast, why does the East Coast and West Coast not have wind farms? Why? The earth is creating wind to power stuff. Why do they not have water dams? Why do they not have solar? Why do they not have, like, literally everything? Alternative energy is amazing. Nuclear energy is amazing, except for when it melts down, but you have precautions for that. Like, it is so stupid. The idiocracy that is happening at a gigantic level is the most infuriating thing ever. And that's why I want to release that video, because I feel like a lot of people are on the same page with me, but they just don't know how to direct it. And I'm just so... I'm so mad. And I didn't even know what I was going to do today for this stream. And I just went off on a rant for freaking almost an hour. Like, just everything that is going on is avoidable. Hey, we get it. You're protesting. I understand. This dude should not have been... This dude was killed. If everything lines up, it was killed. This person's going to be dealt with. That's it. End of story. How hard is that? How hard is that? Okay, cool. You're for the police brutality. Tight. We're going to roll something out. We're going to make it to where the police are 100% responsible for whatever happens in your department. If you killed somebody, you're getting the death penalty. Game over, dude. You need to learn how to freaking handle people. Like, I don't understand why it is so hard to make it a livable and happy world. Like, I'm not even joking with you guys. I have felt numerous times like I need to move out of America. Like, it is not going to get better. And I'm just like, dude, this is insane. Like, there is no reason for anything that is happening. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. How can you be so, like, blind to, like, the most common thing? Scientists are saying, hey, this is going to screw up our economy. This is a disease that's happening. I knew this stuff in February. I knew this stuff in December. I was watching COVID in December before it even got to America. I was watching it, and I said, oh, this is going to be bad. And that's why I have food storage and all this special stuff to survive if everything broke down. Like, I need to shut my door. Like, I was watching this, like, and I was watching this and I said, bro, I told everybody, I said, hey, COVID is coming. It is going to be very bad. I'm watching it in Wuhan. I'm watching all these updates. I'm watching these daily updates. This thing is highly infectious. It's more infectious than the flu. It's 3.5 times more infectious. It's going to be very bad. And everybody's like, nah, you're an idiot. Stop buying food. I got made fun of for having this. I got made fun of for having a food storage, for having water storage, for having, like, basically survival stuff, for being like a prepper, end of the world stuff. And I got made fun of for having that. And literally a month ago, people were like, hey, do you have any food? Not for you, man. I told you this was going to be bad. I said, dude, this is what is happening. If it comes over here, it's done. And guess what happened? It came over here, and it is the worst thing I've ever seen, ever. Like, I don't understand why people just can't sit down. I was out the other day, and I'm watching people with masks on, and they have their mask down here. And I'm like, that's not doing anything, bro. Do you understand what this is? Like, oh, I don't like the mask. It makes me feel like I can't breathe. I can't breathe in a mask. I cannot breathe in a mask. But you know what else I can't breathe? Being intubated. That's when I can't breathe. And I 100% got made fun of for being smart. Because I'm part of the whole thing. Like, if you're on Imgur and you look at Bunker John, that's his name, Bunker John, he followed this from the very, very beginning. And he said, and there's a lot of other people that said, I don't think it was him specifically, that said the rise of infections versus deaths in China are false because they're following a like a linear scale or something where it just goes whoop, and it was literally within like 100 deaths they were following this exact, like a quadratic explanation, maybe a quadratic scale or something, and they followed it to a T. And then once it came out on Imgur, they changed it, and now it's all over the place. And they're like, dude, like, no. Like, that, to me, that was the stupidest thing I've ever... Yeah, Ysicles, that's exactly what happened to you. Yeah, dude, like... It's just so, like... I may be wrong in saying this, but I think that a majority of Americans are just really stupid. Like, we're not... Like, that's why I'm such a proponent of free education. We're failing people out of school because they miss something. We don't try to help them. Teachers are under an enormous amount of stress. I want to pay teachers 2 times what they're making right now. Like, they should be up there with... Like, they should be making, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a year. Because you are forming the next generation of people. But because they're under so much pressure, they have to buy freaking school supplies out of their own pocket, which is empty. And they're just like, dude, I'm trying to help, but there's just so many kids. Like, so many teachers everywhere are so frustrated. And America's like 14th in world intelligence. Like, I don't even know where we are. We're not up at the top. Americans are just so... Most Americans, I'll say some Americans, I won't say most, I'll say some Americans are so dumb, they don't even know when they're wrong and they won't listen to reason. Windmills cause cancer. What are you smoking, bro? Everything causes cancer. You literally get cancer anywhere. Anywhere and everywhere. It's just random. Why not try to help out the world? Why not do clean information? Why not do clean... literally everything? Like, why does everything suck? I don't understand. Thanks for the follow, 564. Thank you, I appreciate it. I didn't have that on. Hold on, let me open this up. I want to see your little thing. Like, I don't get it. Here, I'll give you this. Right there. 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait, hold on. 3, 2, 1. Come on, man, hurry up. Okay, well, whatever. Like, yeah, and like 5G, like people are thinking that 5G is killing everything, and people that, like, I got into fights with my friend, my lifelong friend, and I was like, bro, you do not think that coronavirus is real. I was like, okay, here, I have something that's very easy for you to figure this out. Go volunteer at a hospital in the COVID wing, and you tell me if it's real or not. Go ahead. Like, that's literally it. Like, I see people sitting here, and they're like, oh, well, I need to, I need... There we go. I pushed it through with, that thing. Thanks, 564. Dang, that's so loud. I literally lifelong friend, and he was like, yeah, we're fine. And he's like, I'm going to go to church.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm going to go to church, and I'm going to sing. And I was like, bro, that's how you get it. You literally sit there and you're in a town full of old people, because I used to live there. Like, I don't get it. Like, literally, if everybody wears a mask for 2 or 3 weeks and they're like, open the economy, open the economy. Okay, cool, wear a mask. No, whoa. Holy crud. I can't do that. I can't wear a mask. Hard pass. Bro, just compromise. How hard is that? If you don't wear a mask, cool, get arrested. Spend 2 weeks in jail so that we know you're quarantined. Like, it is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the history of my life is how people are handling this. There's people at the river. The Salt River is a huge thing. I love the fact that they gave people masks in order to get into the river. Like, they cram them onto a bus, they take you up to a river, and you go sail. Okay, cool, I get it. But, like, all these places, like, I went out to eat, and there was nobody that had a mask on. The servers didn't have a mask. The hostess didn't have a mask. Nobody had a mask. And I was like, bro, we're screwed. Like, no. And I went to Applebee's. Everybody had the server had a mask on. The hostess had a mask on. The managers had a mask on. They didn't let anybody sit within 6 feet of each other. They didn't do anything. I went to one restaurant, and there was literally somebody right next to me. And I was like, dude, we're screwed. People are thinking that this isn't a real thing, and it's going to kill. Like, we're at 407 or 470 new cases of COVID here. And it's just in Arizona. And we had, like, literally almost nothing. And they're like, reopen it and look at literally any of the facts. Like, I'm friends with a ton of ER nurses. And she was like, okay, here, guys, I'm going to tell you a story. Like, I watched her Facebook feed. And she said, so today I got to hold hands with somebody who took their last breath. And then I got to seal them into a life-size Ziploc baggie. And then I watched the crematorium come up and dump bleach all over their body and then take them away to go burn them. If that is not the most heart-wrenching thing you've ever heard of in your life, because your family's not there, because they can't be near you, you're still infectious, like you're dying a horrible death with your lungs filling with fluid and you're choking and you're dying and you're all alone, and the only thing that you see is people with freaking masks on staring at you as you're dying. That has got to be the worst freaking feeling I've ever seen in the history of the world. Like, it's just how people are not taking this serious. Like, if you don't think that this is real, by all means, leave a comment. I'll sit here and read it. Like we will 100% have the discussion. Like, just go volunteer in a hospital. Find somebody who works at a hospital that is a major metropolitan area and ask them, hey, what's the deal with COVID? And they'd be like, stay freaking home and put your head in bleach. Like, it is oh my God. I don't even like thinking about it. And yeah, all these protests with people, like some people that protest are having masks on. Cool. Awesome. Great for you. That's smart. You're showing up for a cause and you're also protecting the safety of other people. That's 100% respect. But the people who are out just, I don't have a thing on. I'm just here protesting because it's not real. And that's just like, I literally fought one of my other friends because she thought that it wasn't real. And I was like, bro, you got to be kidding me. What's my opinion on anti-vaxxers? My opinion on anti-vaxxers is that they are scared and also misinformed. Most anti-vaxxers do not know that the guy who proposed that study lost his medical license from that study because doctors are like, no, that's not a thing. Robot said it's too real, and I'm just afraid of how long it might take for them to come up with a vaccine without it mutating too quickly at that point. It's already mutated. It has already mutated, but I think that it's like Plague Inc. and like literally every doctor place in the world is trying to come up with a cure for this. So I think it's going to happen sooner rather than later. However, there's going to be more people that die. Like, that is just going to be a thing, and it's going to be healthy people. It's going to be non-healthy people. The person who did the anti-vax protest or whatever for COVID, she got sick with it, which is awesome because now hopefully she'll be like, guys, this isn't a joke. But the worst thing about this is that if everybody goes on lockdown in 2 weeks, or like devil's advocate, everybody goes in lockdown for 2 weeks, this thing goes away, we never hear from it again. Everybody that was on the side of saying this isn't real, it's a hoax, the government's trying to control us, that is still alive, is going to say, see, we told you it wasn't that big of a deal. You put us away for 2 weeks for nothing. And that is enough to make my skin crawl and my blood boil and me get on the internet and yell. It is the most infuriating thing I've ever heard of, seen of. Like, just ignorance to me. I have a very, very low tolerance for ignorant people and people who are willing to stay ignorant. That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, what is it? Mississippi or Louisiana or some place, I can't remember. They had twice the amount of pneumonia deaths than normal since last year. And like, just the way that they're classifying this virus is insane, and they're not actually coming up with real numbers. Like the lady that quit from like the Florida thing or the New York thing, and she was like, I'm not gonna fudge these numbers for you, like these are the actual numbers. And they said, yeah, okay, well, you're fired. Like, just literally look that up. It is so bad. Like, I cannot even fathom how stupid most people are. And it's just so infuriating, because those are the people that you have to fight in order to make change happen, because they're just so ingrained in stupidity. It is dumb. I'm loving this rant. You should do rants more often. I should not. I have almost cussed 800 times now. Like, it's not even funny. Like, it just makes me so frustrated. Like, why can you just not be intelligent? Banji said, I won't lie. I originally thought the virus was a lie. I used to think it was fake. It took a close family member almost dying for me to realize, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, like, it gives you pneumonia for a month. Most normal, healthy people are going to get through it. Pneumonia for a month is insane. However, they're saying once you have it, there's no guarantee you won't get it again. And also, if they intubate you, or I think if you even have it, your lungs are permanently scarred from having this, because the intubation breathes for you and it doesn't get like actual oxygen or something. And I was like, dude, I'm not taking that risk ever. So, okay, cool. It's a hoax. Haha, LOL. I get it. Your breathing capacity is limited by 30% for the rest of your life, because you were like, haha, this is a joke. Like, what are you doing with your life? Why? Like, I knew this wasn't a joke. Like, and I'm not going to try to like bash you, Banji, but I knew this wasn't a joke since I started seeing the things in China, and they started welding people in their apartments. And they were like, you're not getting out. We're containing everybody. That's enough to tell you, if a regime like that says we are 100% locking you into your buildings, that way this doesn't spread, you know that it's going to be insane. And also, Sin, you said I have to play it super careful, if not for me, for my last surviving parent who already has problems from smoking. I've heard that smokers have less of a problem with this, which is weird, but that's what I heard, so you might want to look a little bit more into that. Doge Dude said, now me and my friends are scared and that we're going to die from the riots. Dude, like, they're like, a FBI officer died from the riots. Like, everybody's going out and dying. And even if you go out, like, you're just like, dude, I'm so cool. I'm going to protect everything. And you go out there with a gun, you could still get shot. Like, there's nothing that people are going to say, that guy's a gun, shoot him first. Like, there's nothing that says that you're going to live. Like, the best advice is to just stay home. Do not do anything else. Just sit at home, wait for this to blow over, and then assess. Because people outside right now are running on emotions. They are frustrated. Like, it is insane. And yeah, 100% Sin. 100%, yeah. Better to overprotect than to not wear a mask. Yeah, you should 100% take all the precautions. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Put your mask on. XY. Do everything that they say. Still stand 6 feet apart from people. Like, I hold my breath and I close my eyes when I walk by somebody, because I'm like, I know that this virus can live in your eyes. Like, I'm not taking any chances. Yeah, that stinks. So, Banji, what does your mom say about being anti-gun? Is she still saying we should still be anti-gun, or is she saying we need to get a gun to protect ourselves? And welcome to the stream, Matt. Everything is 100% crazy. Yeah, like I understand that people are protesting. I understand like that's a amazing thing. I wish that it would happen when it wasn't during the time of COVID, because if it was, I would be out there joining. But I am not going to. Wait, is that the Matt Robinson I grew up with? Did I go to school with you? If I did, that would be awesome because I haven't talked to that guy in, I don't know, 16 years, 18 years. No, she's saying you'll be fine. You don't need a gun. How old are you, Banshee? What? A rider who died trying to rob a FedEx truck? No, I haven't heard about that, but don't rob a FedEx truck. Number one, it's a felony to mess with people's mail, but rioters, the people who are trying to rob places are scum to me. Also, at 22, you can buy any gun you want. Just big old FYI. I don't know how you are with guns, and I don't know your mental capacity, so I'm not saying, hey, get a gun, but if you're that scared, you should look into getting one. Sadly, no, but I've been watching your videos forever, and I just remembered, hey, sweet, well, thanks for coming back, Matt. Look it up on YouTube. Agreed, the protests are actually going on the wrong time. Social distancing and mask are just out the window. Yeah, people are, like, I was watching some cop hug a protester, and they both had their mask off, and I was like, bro, like, I get it. Like, you can do two things at once. By the way, I still live at home because I'm too broke to move. Yeah, that's fine. Does the law even cover FedEx? I think that one's on the company. I think that anything that delivers mail, like, I think that that would be a federal offense. Is touching FedEx mail a federal offense? Is stealing FedEx packages a federal offense? However, the theft of interstate shipments by any interstate carrier is a federal crime and is investigated by the FBI. So if UPS, FedEx, DHL, or USPS deliver that item and it was shipped from out of state, even if the vendor, Amazon, has an in-state distribution center, it is still an interstate shipment. Do not touch anything that is mail. Mail is the worst. You can steal an Amazon package and you can get federal charges. Freaking don't touch it. I think that if you do something like with HR, like within the company, if they had like sexual harassment, it would be up to that company 100%. But I don't think it would have to do anything with the mail itself. Speaking of looting a FedEx truck, there were looters looting a UPS truck in downtown San Jose. He got caught between two trailers of the truck and got dragged. Like, that is like the stupidest thing. The guy who stole I saw the chick who stole a cheesecake and it was like the fake one. Like, what do you, like, what? That's an opportunistic piece of garbage. Stop stealing stuff. If you want to protest, protest. If you want to riot, riot. Don't steal stuff. Don't hurt anything else. Like that, like people equate it to like the Boston Tea Party, right? I just read this thing on the Boston Tea Party the other day. The Boston Tea Party, it is insane. I want all of you in the comments to tell me what you think happened with the Boston Tea Party. Was it like a ton of people? Was it one person? Was it an angry mob? Did they set fire to the town and throw the tea overboard? Did they just take one package of tea and throw it in the harbor? Like, you tell me what you think happened with the Boston Tea Party, and I'll tell you something that I read. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But as you're sitting there writing, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that I read. So, you have the Boston Tea Party, right? You have British going, British Empire going, you're going to do this. And Americans or whoever it was said, hard pass. We're not going to do that. The way that they rioted, people are equating this to the Boston Tea Party. You know exactly what happened? They literally went onto the ship, they threw the tea overboard, and they cleaned up the ship, and then they left. They did not burn that thing down. They didn't beat the snot out of the sailors. They did not kill the captain. They didn't shoot anything. They didn't set fire to anything. Their only mission was to send a statement to say, we're not going to deal with this tea or whatever the catalyst was. So they said, okay, we're going to go. And all of the sailors on all of the ships can attest to that. They said, dude, these guys were amazing. They came in here, they threw the tea overboard. They said, thanks. They even swept the decks before they left. They moved furniture that was moved to throw the tea overboard, and then they left. Everything was exactly the way that it was. Fast forward to now, you have morons breaking windows and screens and stealing stuff like they're freaking animals. Like, it is so appalling about all, like, just the ignorance of people. It makes me want to just give up and cry. Like, you stealing something from a business has nothing to do with what it is that you... How does you stealing from a TV from Best Buy have to do with somebody dying at the hands of a cop? How is that a thing? How is you diminishing the work of somebody who lives in your neighborhood, John Smith Biscuits? How is you destroying that man's livelihood have anything to do with somebody that was killed by the cops? I saw people spray painting ambulances. What does that have to do with a cop? That has nothing to do with it. Like, I don't understand how you can be so dumb to say, whoa, bro, somebody died at the hands of a cop. I'm going to go steal a car real quick and I'll be back. What? That has nothing to do with anything. What are you doing? I do not understand. I don't get it. I don't understand how they can make that connection and say, whoa. But I 100% agree with you, Sin. They are opportunists. They do not care. They want the world to burn. What up, Rockman? Who you just chatting with? I'm chatting with myself, man. I'm talking to myself. And also, I'm answering the questions from people on YouTube. He said, you got one viewer. Actually, I have probably 14 people watching me on YouTube. So that's where it's coming. I'm dual streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Yeah, they are opportunists. They don't care. They just want to see the world burn, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in the history of my life, man. It is the dumbest thing. But if you want to go check it out, Rockman, you can go to my YouTube. My YouTube is What Zach Does. I don't even know if will this pop up? No. Oh, no. Wait. No, I don't have it set up. Wait, hold on. There we go. You can go there. Facebook and YouTube. No, man, you're good, Rockman. You're good. You're good. You're good. And I understand the confusion. You're like, wait, why are you talking to so many people? And you're like saying random names. I'm a schizophrenic and they're in my head. Thank you, Doge, for saying that you used to watch my GTA videos and mod reviews. I'm trying to get my Minecraft account back so that way I can actually play Minecraft, but they're like saying they're behind with COVID and all this other stuff. So, you know, that's a thing. The number on Twitch must be incorrect because I've been watching for a bit. You might be the only one tactically. But yeah, man, like I don't understand why Americans cannot get together and stand as one and say, "Hey, we're against police brutality. Hold them to a better standard." Like I'm all for cops. I'm all for people in general. It doesn't matter if you're a cop, fireman, whatever. Like every single job has horrible people in it. You have the people who work at Target that are like, screw you, I don't need to tell you where the chicken is. You have the people who work at FedEx that throw your packages. You have the people at Amazon that throw your packages. You have the dentists who sit there and put people under and sexually assault people. You have doctors who intentionally kill people. Like in every single walk of life, in every single job, you have people who are horrible. Now, I think that the margin of error for them to be cops is smaller than the most. Like, somebody who throws my package should not be held as liable as somebody who, kneels on somebody's neck and kills them. I think that's two totally different things. But there's bad people everywhere. Like, and there's people who become a cop just to abuse their power. But I know a ton of cops, and they are just there to help other people. Like, that is 100% their job. They say, this is my community. I'm trying to help you. If you need help, you give me a call. I am there. 110%. But that doesn't sell in the media. So the media only shows the bad people doing this. So everybody says, oh, well, that's it. Just like the Trump supporters. There's probably a bajillion Trump supporters that are embarrassed right now. But the people who are loud and proud is the very, very small majority that are still holding protests and saying, Trump's amazing, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's insane. And also, Ninja, I'm super quiet. If you turn up your volume, you'll probably hear me better because I'm almost peeking out my microphone. What Zach did before Corona. Dude, I don't know if I got stolen. I don't think my Minecraft account got stolen. I just can't log in. It says that I don't have the game. So I'm about to just buy the game again, but I don't want it to mess anything up, so that's why I'm waiting for them to get back to me. But when I was 7, but then I left for school and stuff, and I think this stream is my escapism as a 16-year-old watching the world burn. You still got those good vibes I still remembered as a kid. I'm trying, Carissa. I'm trying. You're all the way up. Check your master volume for your Windows, and then check, I don't know, check something else and see if, maybe check in the actual stream window itself. Yeah, exactly, Raging. Like, all the good cops are getting a terrible reputation because of what the bad cops are doing. I just saw, literally, it was a black lady cop. She, like, stopped something from happening, and she lost her pension, and she lost her job because she intervened. I don't know if I can find it, but and I'm like, dude, that's why people aren't good cops. If you're going to get ostracized and you're not going to get recommended, or you're not going to get recognized and say, hey, this person did a good job. Like, I can't remember what it was. I'm trying to find it, but it was an African-American lady, and she stopped somebody from doing something, and she lost her job because of it. And she was a cop. And I don't know where it was. But, like, this stuff is just, it's so embarrassing. Like, I think I'm almost to it, because I remember watching it, like, way back here. The cops pepper sprayed their own senator. I remember that. This right here. Like, the cops are telling this lady to actually sit there and graffiti on there. They want her to graffiti it and then put, like, For George or something. Like, they said the cops here were laughing with the white lady, instructing her on what to tag on the building. If you listen closely towards the end, they told her to add Floyd. And, like, I don't get it. Somebody said this is from The Life of Brian. But, like, and they're shooting they're shooting the actual paparazzi. Well, not paparazzi, but the actual, like, media. Like, bro, like, everything is so broken. I just want to have, like, a big platform and talk to people and say, yo, here's the deal. We're going to fix this. Like, I don't get it. Like, I respect, even if, like, whatever happened with Barack Obama, like, whatever happened with that, whether I agreed or disagreed, the fact that he wrote an entire essay and it was, like, cool, calm, and collected, I respect that, dude. Like, I don't care about your opinions on gun control. I don't care about your opinions on literally anything else. The fact that you said, hey, this is a time of struggle. We all need to come together. You need to be activists in the right way. You need to channel this. Don't be protesting and all this other stuff. mad respect for that. That is the area that I respect you in, is the fact that you can stand up and say, this is how you need to fix this. I'm a leader. This is how you need to change this. Whereas some people are just sitting in a bunker and saying you need to overrun them with force. That to me is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in the history of my life. There's a house nearby who has Trump spelled out with red Solo cups and a chain link fence. I think that says something about people who still support him. Yeah, it's a sad cop can't show their face without getting yelled at and bombarded. Well, yeah, I've known a lot of people in my life who think all cops are bad. I don't think that at all. Like, I'm a huge cop supporter. I think I'm a huge cop supporter, but when people are horrible, that's when my support stops. Like, the dude who killed that guy should be put in jail. If everything lines up, like, I'm all for a fair trial. Like, I'm not about the whole 10-second video clip. Like, that's what everybody saw. That's great. But if everything lines up and you did exactly what everybody's saying you did, you should be tried, you should be sentenced, and everybody that stood around you should be tried, should be sentenced. If you see somebody sitting there trying to hurt somebody, no, sorry, bro. The bystander effect isn't real when you're a cop. You should say, bro, what are you doing? Like, you know that they're buddies. If I sat there and I watched my buddy sit there and start choking somebody out and didn't stop after the person was passed out or said, I can't breathe, you bet your face I'm going to sit there and push him and say, bro, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, cops are all about brotherhood and all this other stuff. So you know that they're closer than most families. Like, that's their gang. That's their friends. That's their whatever. Like, bro, you can call your buddies on their junk, on their garbage, and say, dude, what are you doing? The dude's laying down on the ground and you have your knee in his neck. And he says, I can't breathe. They're going to kill me. Okay, hey, maybe lighten up on the pressure. I'll push down on his shoulder. Like, I don't understand why you have to sit there and be like, I got him. I'm going to get him. Bro, he's sitting there. He's chilling. Like, the reason why he got called was because it was like an apparent, like, forged check. How do you need to sit there and use lethal force against somebody who has a forged check? Okay, cool. He took 18 hostages and he has an automatic rifle and he's shooting everybody that comes through the door. Okay, cool. Use lethal force. Dude passed a bad check, allegedly. It could have been like I saw like cash and he used like a fake 20 or a fake 10 or some sort of check. How can you sit there and justify the use of, bro, I'm going to sit there on your neck, and as you're sitting there gasping for breath, like, I don't do Taekwondo, I don't do any of that stuff, but I know that when I have somebody in a chokehold, like, I've done enough sparring to where when somebody's in a chokehold and they tap out and they say, I can't breathe, you let up. You say, okay, cool, you got the point. I'm stronger than you. You're going to do what I say. And that's it. Hands up, hands off. That's it. I don't understand why, and I understand that, like, during times like that, like, there's stress, but you're a freaking cop for that reason. You need to be able to handle extreme stressful situations. If you cannot, you need to not be a cop. Like, I got into a fight the other day, talking with somebody, and I said, dude, I'd be a horrible cop. Like, if you run from me, like, I'm either going to tase you, I'm going to start shooting at you. Like, I need you to respect the fact that I'm saying stop running. But I know my limitations. I know that that's exactly what would happen if I was a cop. That's exactly what would happen. I would say, put your hands up. Okay, you put your hands up. Turn around. Okay, sit down. Bam. Okay, cool. And then you start running. Stop running. Nope. I'm going to shoot you. Like, I'm not going to sit there and run. I'm not going to play the games. Like, freaking listen to me, and I'll treat you with respect. So I know for a fact that I am not a good candidate to be a cop. I'm not a good candidate to be border patrol. I'm not a good candidate to be any kind of position for that. But if you don't know that about yourself, do not try to figure it out while you're on the job. Like, most people know about themselves and say, hey, if somebody says I can't, like, even if I was a cop and I was that type of cop and I sat there and somebody said I can't breathe and my knee was on his neck full force, like, it doesn't take 8 million billion years to put handcuffs on somebody. Like, I don't get it. But welcome to the stream, Power. Thank you for coming by with my rant. Like, I'm freaking on a tear, man. I'm just so PO'd at everything that is going on. Like, how can you have such little self-control? How can your brothers and sisters sit there and let you do that to somebody? How can you not know that, hey, once he's unconscious, that's it? Like, when you choke somebody out, they're not going to fight back when they're unconscious. How can you sit there and just still be on that person? Like, I don't get it. Like, yeah, so Sin said, here's my problem. Why do you still need the knee after he's in handcuffs? He already has medical issues. He couldn't fight even if he wanted to, especially with no hands. Number one, devil's advocate, you don't know that they have medical issues. Number two, the dude looks like a fairly big guy. Number three, there's 16 cops around. None of those things should come into an equation. None of those things should come into an equation if you have him on the ground and in handcuffs. He's not going to do anything. Okay, cool, dude. Get up. Get up and freaking run. Like, great. Okay, your hands are tied behind your back. You can't run. We're going to outrun you. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, cool. We have 18 officers here with tasers pointed at you. Okay, cool. Tight. Like, you're not going anywhere. Like, health issues aside, you had more than enough people to subdue one person. If it was a gang of people, okay, I get it. But it was one person sitting there. Like, I don't understand. Yeah, the guy who murdered Floyd is in jail. People are mad because he was sentenced to as third-degree murder, which is an accident when it should be second-degree intentional. I'm kind of up in the air on that. There's a lot of things going on when there was a lot of people screaming. I didn't even watch the video, so my opinion, it counts for literally nothing. This is just the way I think of it right now, being devil's advocate. There's a lot of things going on. It's a high-stress situation. You don't know if he passed out. You could have put the pressure on for too long. I get it. If he sat there and said, explicitive, you're black, I hate you, and put a pistol to his head and pulled the trigger, okay, that's a different story. But that being said, even if it was accidental or unintentional, he needs to be tried as such. Like, you killing somebody just, it's an accident, doesn't, okay, yeah, well, yeah. Don't do that again. That should not be a thing. It should be, oh, well, you did it anyway. You should have been in the right mind to not do that, and now you are being sentenced for this. Yeah, so the circumstances are what they are. A man is dead. He didn't get a trial. He didn't get a lawyer. He's dead. Like, that's like the worst thing. Like, the dude can't talk for himself. The chick who died, whose boyfriend had a legit carry license, who shot at the cops when they broke into his house, she can't talk for herself. She's dead. The FBI agent that got shot and killed can't talk for himself. That is the worst thing about this. I hate it with a freaking passion. Why do people have to die for this? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the history of my life. Like, why? Like, human life is so much more valuable than literally anything that we have going on. Oh, there's a trade war. Oh, great. Cool. Your 401k's down. Get a freaking grip. Why do you have to have other people die for this stuff to get across? Why do people have to die in order for this stuff to make a change? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm all for people who are getting up now and getting all crazy, except for the looters and people who are saying, yo, we're going to do a peaceful protest. We're going to sit here. We're going to do a lay down in front of the embassy. We're going to lay down in front of the Capitol, and we're going to show we're behind this. This was not right. I respect the heck out of the cops who are part of those protests, too, who are saying, you know what? We're with you. I get it. Like, but to me, just it's needless people who are dying. Needless people who are dying from COVID when it should not have even been a thing are dying. People who are dying from this thing, people who are dying from this, people who are dying from the aftermath of Floyd's murder, it's dumb. Okay, cool. Here's the thing. Trump should have stepped in immediately. The mayor should have stepped in immediately. Like, why are they defending this dude? Okay, hey, yeah, you know what? We saw the video. We saw this. We saw the body cams. Cool, he's going to jail. Everybody that's around him, going to jail. Congratulations, you're an accomplice. Why is it that if I sit there, I can guarantee you, if I sat there with 7 of my friends and I put my knee on somebody's neck and I killed them, I would be in jail, my friend 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 would be in jail. Anybody else who thought of thinking of me would be in jail. Why is it so different for cops? Why are they not held to the same standard? Why are they public servants? And why are they not held to the same standard that I am? I don't understand why that is a thing. Jocelyn, thank you for coming to the stream. What do I think about the riots and the looting? I think the riots are Okay, I think the looting is very, very stupid. I think you're shooting yourself in the foot when you start looting, and I think it's just opportunists who are just trying to get their own out of something horrible that is happening. What's up, Gary? Thank you for your comment. You said you make a good point. I'm not saying it was okay, but having a family member that was part of the force, the whole knee and the neck is a typical procedure and restraining. I 100% agree with you. I heard that it was also on the head. However, what I think is if somebody is in handcuffs, you don't need to keep applying that force. You can sit there and have your taser in their back. You can sit there and have 17 of the other cops that were around help you restrain this person. I don't think that you need to sit there for X amount of time on somebody's neck. So yes, I agree with you, but I also have a different way of looking at that actual situation. Let's hope 2020 doesn't get any worse. Knock on wood. It's 100% going to get worse. But then again, he's cuffed, lock him up, and if they bang around in the back and hurt themselves, that's on them. Yes, that's a pretty prolonged knee sin. Yes. Anybody who thinks of me will go to jail. Thanks, Carissa. Deary, in my opinion, this is all blown out of proportion. Deary, I think that it is everybody that's frustrated with COVID, everybody that is locked up at home. I think this was a very small incident, but it did get blown up because of everything that is going on. I don't think this was like the end all be all catalyst, but I think that everything was just kind of mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. And this was the one little straw that broke the camel's back. Do I think that it's okay? What's up, Fitz? Oh, what's up, Fritz? How you doing, man? I'm gonna read you from the server. You switched that, Matt. I used to be a cop like you, and then I took the neck to the knee. I took the knee to the neck. Yeah, welcome, Fritz. Long time no see, brother. Yes, Sin, it is the perfect store. It is the perfect storm for the pot to finally... I think that this was the catalyst that kind of launched everybody into everything, and everybody was just so frustrated with COVID and how poor it was handling. Nobody has any money. $1,200 means jack diddly for anything, and I think that this was the actual straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm not saying that his death is insignificant, but I don't think it's as big as people are making it out to seem. But it is a huge deal. Like, police brutality is a huge issue that I'm hoping will get corrected with this whole thing. Like, I like how, I think it was like the mayor of like Illinois or Tennessee or something said, if you agree with how he was arrested and the fact that he died, hand in your badge. Like, I like the fact that all these cops are standing behind the actual people that they're sworn to protect and serve, and say, you know what, that wasn't right. We're going to stand with you. We're going to protest with you. We're going to make sure that this is right. We're going to check ourselves. Like, I don't understand how some of the stuff that some cops do, I'm not going to say all cops do, like, if you can walk around and do that, why can I not do that? Like, I don't understand. Like, how can you pick somebody up and body slam them and not be held accountable for whatever? Like, if they're resisting arrest, okay, cool, I get it. Like, take them down. But, like, if I did any of that stuff, instant jail time. There'd be no anything. They'd be like, yeah, well, you killed this guy. See ya. Like, I don't get it. Did I see the clip of the police officer shooting at a family who was standing on their porch just outside their home? I did see that. They shot, I think it was flower bullets or powder bullets because one of the kids got hit. I think it was weird that they were like, get inside your house. Like, I do think that there's a lot of things that are going to be going on that the cops don't want you to see, mainly because I can't remember what city it was, but they told all of the media to stay out. So that's not good, because what don't they want you to see? Just Google it. I can't remember what police force it was, but they literally tweeted it out and said, anybody that's in the media, if you're not on your property, you're going to get arrested or shot or something. Like, it's not good. I unfortunately saw that video raging. Yeah. Okay, so AB is responding to raging. Weisicle said, what do you think about the earthquakes around Yellowstone? I think that it is perfect because small earthquakes mean that there's not a big earthquake coming. When it's all silent, that means pressure's building up. Yellowstone has between 2,000 to 3,000 earthquakes a year, and as long as those are happening, everything is good. Once those stop, that means that we're in a world of hurt, because I think when Yellowstone blows, I think I will be dead. And it'll just like instantly vaporize me. So just be thankful that there is earthquakes still happening. Reddit 50/50 is going to be packed soon. I don't know what that is. I know what Reddit is. I don't know what Reddit 50/50 is. I'm kind of amazed that $1,200 even happened. Maybe I'm a cynic, but I never expected to see that, and somehow think we'll be paying it back in taxes the next few years. Probably. I know, like, that's my thing. Like, I've been Republican affiliated for a very, 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 very long time. And as it sits right now, I'm in between Republican and Democrat on some issues. But I did hear that, whether it's true or not, I did hear that a lot of Republicans were trying to put into the bill that a lot of the businesses would get bailed out. And I just ranted for 800 million years about how I don't think that businesses should get bailed out. I think that all of that money should go to the American people. If, like, everything would have been peaceful if they said, you know what, everybody take a month off of work. We're going to give you everybody $5,000. Everybody would be cool. If you need more than $5,000, you don't need the $5,000. Most people make between $2,500 to like $3,000 a month. Just say, you know what, sit at home, be cool, chill out. We're going to let this virus die out, and we're just going to relax. We're going to give you your meds. We're going to give you your food. We're going to do all that other stuff. Businesses are still open, but they're all just going to deliver. That's it. I think this thing would have been... Thanks, Gary. I think that everything would have been brought down drastically if that would have happened. Like 2100, like they approved like what, like $300 trillion or something like that. Like if every business was a person, they would have gotten like $40,000 to $50,000, and we got $1,200. I didn't even get mine yet. Like that's the thing. Like I haven't gotten any of that. Like it's not good. $1,200 means not. If they said $1,200 across the board, $1,200 in middle of nowhere, North Dakota, would probably go a long way. $1,200 in California or New York or any of like the high income places doesn't mean diddly. Like that means you paid for electric or something, right? Like $1,200 means nothing. Like everybody knows that these places are really expensive to live in. So what do you think's going to happen with people who can't afford rent or anything like that? Like you're going to get multiple foreclosures, which is going to bring down the housing market, which is cool because I'm waiting for the housing market to crash anyway. That way I can buy back in. Like, what up, Braymere? Like they just don't think. And that's what happens when you take your son-in-law and put them in charge of stuff when they don't even know what they're doing. What are you doing? I urge all of you, if you have Netflix, watch the series called Dirty Money, and they have an episode about Jared, or whatever his name is, and how all of his houses and all of his apartment complexes and all of that other stuff is just pooping on people that live in there. Like, it is just so irritating how people think that anybody of this caliber can lead anything. Like, not trying to throw shade, but what does Trump's daughter have to do with anything? What foreign policy has she been in to where she knows how this works? Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I feel like they drained the swamp and filled it back up with just garbage and just your friends. Like, I don't get it. Like, so Sin said, I'm not okay with curfew as an excuse for arrest, and that's where we are at. The protests outside the White House were peaceful until they started hucking tear gas and flashbangs. Again, Sin, I think if you were here at the very beginning, you'll know that I said that curfew was just a back door in order to get people who are out and about and get them arrested. Because as it sits right now, you can get in Arizona a $2,500 fine or 6 months in prison. And I think that that's what they're doing as a way to just say, If we see you outside past 8 o'clock, we're going to get you. And all my friends were like, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I was like, okay, cool. Go try it out. So I'll let you guys know what happened to them. AB said, even if the media isn't there, a lot of protesters have been filming this as well, and there's really not much they can do about that. You're 100% correct. Also, if you are at these protests, they cannot tell you to give them your phone or anything like that. If you are going to stream it to YouTube. That way, if they do take your phone, it's not taken down. It's saved on YouTube servers, and you can take it off of there. Use like a burner phone. Do not use your $1,000 iPhone SX Max or iPhone 11 or 12 or 27. Do not use those if you do not want it to get taken. Do not take your nice expensive cameras. Take something that is worth garbage, because they might take it and you might never get it back. I do appreciate you watching since 2012, Gary. I really do appreciate that. You actually don't know how much that means to me. At least they focused on pushing back protesters past curfew today instead of straight to the weapons. Cool. Hard to bring something down when it's constantly propped up by the MSM. What are you talking about, Brainmere? I'm not really sure what the MSM is. Multi-state media? MacGyver, silly putty, majesty? Like, what's MSM? But I've been venting. How are you guys doing? I know there's a couple of you watching. How are you guys doing? How are you guys handling all of this? Do you guys have all of your needs being met? How are you feeling? How's your mental health? Oh, mainstream media. Got you. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to bring something down when it's constantly propped up. Yeah, exactly. And like the media is so toward, like, you can sit there and you can watch one thing by one channel and an entirely different narrative from another channel. Like, it is just, it's so frustrating how people put their own spins on it. Like, people like with Fox is like entirely like right leaning, and I think it's like CNN is like right leaning or left leaning or something. Like there's like no neutral news that says this is what's happening, this is how it is. Fritz said important to differentiate between MSM and SNM, very different things. I would agree. I'll be fine if the Karens stay away from work for 5 minutes. Like, that's the thing. Like, people are like, I need a haircut. Bro, I just uploaded a video on how to cut. Like, if you're a girl, you can have a little bit longer haircut, a little bit longer hair for a month or two. Like, dude, really? Like, why do you do that? And if you're a guy, you can shave your head. If you have long hair and you're a guy, just have a little bit longer and then cut your hair. Like, my hair is making me insane, but I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut the sides. Like, I don't get it. Sin said, I'm sticking to independent streams, harder to track, but less agenda. Yeah. Weisicle said, how long do you think it'll take for the riots and protests to stop? I think it'll stop once there has been a gratuitous amount of violence from the military and or cops towards the protesters and everybody's scared to go out, or until they feel like they have been appeased, whereas the dude has been found guilty and is in jail, and all of his friends that stood by are in jail. Or until people get bored and something else happens, like they find out that a public leader is involved in child trafficking, or Anon releases something that's crazy. Like, I think that that is going to be as long as it happens, because as long as there is riots, you're going to have the looters, and the looters aren't going to stop because they're getting stuff for free. But what they don't understand is they're probably taking their phone into that location, and you can definitely track your phone. And so hopefully all of those people get caught. And also, if you break into a place, it doesn't stop the security cameras from rolling. So if, you know, you're a 320-pound dude and you were wearing, you know, like a hoodie, and the cops show up at your house and you're still a 320-pound dude and you're the same frame as the person who the security cameras caught, they're probably going to arrest you. So, like, most criminals are very, very dumb. Fitz said, I shaved my head 3 times now. I did a full shave the first 2 times now, and I'm good enough at cutting my own hair to give myself a shagadelic crew cut. If you want to hit the floor, you got to trim it. Though looters are using this as an excuse to be criminals. You're 100% correct, Banji. Sin said bald may be a good option right now, less to get in the way of mask straps, but hey, hat season. I mean, that's the thing. Like, dude, all the Sikhs or Sikhs or whatever you want to say, the Middle Eastern fellows, I guess. Like, words aren't coming to my head right now. But, like, it's against their religion to shave their beard, and they freaking shaved it just so that way people wouldn't get this disease, like, or this virus. Like, I've heard nothing but good thing. I think it's like, it's not a sheik. It's like Sikhs or six, I think, maybe. They're the guys that wear, like, the turban, and, like, I've heard nothing but good thing about these guys. And it's, like, literally against your religion. Like, imagine if it was against your religion to do something and they did it for the good of helping somebody else. Like, that is, like, the epitome of a good person. And I've seen a ton of before and afters of guys with, like, gigantic beards, and they're, like, trimmed, and they're nice, and they're gorgeous. And they're just like, well, need to make sure you stay alive. And it took a day for them to be like, yeah, well, let's go ahead and cut this off. Like, that is, like, super respectable. Like, that is insane. It's like S-E-I-C-K. That's not easy. It's like S-H. I feel like I'm spelling sheiks. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a sheik. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now. I've been screaming. My throat hurts. I've been trying to stream. I wanted to stream today, and I want to do video games, but I didn't because I feel like this is a lot more important. So maybe we'll do something tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk a little bit again tomorrow about America and how everything is happening, which is insane. But, you know, that's a thing. You have those churches that refuse to shut down. I think God can forgive you. For the love of God, watch a stream or something. That's the thing. I argue with my buddy who went to church, and he's like, I need to go to church. And I talked to my other stupid friend, and she was like, you're oppressing me and my religious freedoms. I was like, bro, okay, number one, I'm 100% religious. I get it. They didn't say for you not to worship whoever it is that you want to worship. If you want to worship God, great. They didn't say don't worship God. They said don't go to a public place. They didn't say anything about not streaming. Like, I would have a huge problem if they said you're not allowed to mention God ever, and you're not allowed to do any kind of religion ever. Okay, that's a huge problem. They didn't say that. They said, hey, live stream, talk to people, talk on the phone, do a conference call, do whatever it is that you need to do, just don't congregate. And all of these morons are saying, blah, 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 I need to have my religious freedom. They're not oppressing your religious freedom, you idiot. Are you really that stupid? Anyway, it's been 2 hours. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We had a ton of people in here watching, and I am so excited for that. That was actually pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for coming. If you want, you're more than welcome to follow, like, subscribe, do all that jazz. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be sure to wash your hands. Do not touch your face. Please love your neighbor as yourself. Do good. Do not get caught up in everything that is crazy. And I will see you guys hopefully, maybe not tomorrow, because tomorrow my family's coming, but maybe tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we will 100% all get through this. I promise, because there's nothing else we can do. So, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.